Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Oratory Story. In this show, you, the audience, send in poems, spoken word, or short stories you would like recited. These can either be your own works or the works of others. Just give credit where credit is due. For our second episode, we have a short story by Jaden Boswell titled 50 Waves of Music. He says this is a fanfic he wrote about two of his friends in band class with a minor amount of anal sex. I wasn't expecting things to turn sexual so soon, but what's life without a little bit of butt stuff? 50 Waves of Music by Jaden Boswell. Chapter 1. Useful Exposition. A boy from Tracy, young, short, light-skinned, dark-haired, Tongan, and the body of a professional bodybuilder who moved to Brentwood entirely against his will, who found himself in a small, low-budgeted high school band his home. He found himself enjoying his newfound friendships and classmates much more than ever before. This boy was named Noah, but after an unfortunate mishap with the drum major, he had been nicknamed Tongi, and the name has stuck since. It took until his second year, however, to find his one true soulmate. It was the first day of sophomore year. He stepped into the band room ready to start the class like any other first day. But today was different. It was more different today as any other day he had ever experienced, for what he saw changed his life forever. What he saw was a boy. A tall, light, brown-haired boy with glasses. He was the most magnificent thing Noah had ever seen. His glasses magnifying his blue eyes, which were shining like the sun reflecting on a deep blue ocean. His hair swaying in the breeze created by opening the door. His hands, flawless, filled with the utmost beauty. His forehead glistening from a light sweat like a new golden trophy, and his intense muscles protruding on his arms and chest like bumps on a cliffside. To everyone else, this boy merely looked like an incredibly muscular nerd. But in the thoughts of Noah, this boy was unmistakably the most perfect boy there could ever be. He wanted to have him. He needed to have him. He slowly attempted to approach this boy, this magnificent, beautiful boy, but he approached with incredible caution, as if he were sneaking up to a wild rabbit. This caution was feeble, as before Noah could reach him, he was pulled away by a girl. How could this evil girl take him away from Noah? Noah was infuriated, but this wouldn't be his only chance. After this day, he missed several chances. His fear of speaking to this boy, whose name he'd learned was Jason, overcame him every time he tried to seize an opportunity. Until one day, Jason was gone, seized up by this girl, the evil wench, Samantha Stone. How could she do this? Did she not know of Noah's undying love for Jason? She can't date him. It's not fair. I can fix this, Noah thought, and fix this he shall. Chapter 2. The Pineapple Plan. 3 weeks have passed since Jason was stolen from Noah. Noah had been watching the witch, studying her. He learned her habits, her favorite places, her address, her family, everything about her. He had a plan. A plan, he thought, that was the most incredible plan any boy had ever thought of. The Pineapple Plan. So here we find Noah at the grocery store. He hasn't eaten lunch in 3 weeks to save up lunch money. This money would be the witch's downfall, for those dollars were being used to buy fruits. Not just any fruits. Pineapples. Noah knew Sammy's daily schedule, which consisted mostly of school and home, but she paid weekly visits to Safeway, the pet store, the gym, and her friend Amanda's house. These days appeared to be random, but Noah puts an algorithm together to know exactly where Sammy would be going each day. On the first day, when Sammy went to the gym, she noticed something by the door on her way in. It was a pineapple, a simple fruit. She thought nothing of it. But only 3 days later, a pineapple manifested itself outside of Amanda's house. When Sammy confronted Amanda about this, she assumed Sammy was messing with her. Why would Amanda have a pineapple outside? The pineapples became more and more frequent until they were appearing every day. Sammy became scared. She felt like she was being watched wherever she went. She thought around every corner was going to be a pineapple. There were pineapples in the gym, in Safeway, by Amanda's house. She tried to tell people, but no one believed that she was serious. She confided in Jason, who brushed her off as going crazy. She couldn't take it. She started staying home. She missed school 2 or 3 times a week because there were no pineapples at her house. She thought she was safe there. She wasn't. Over time, the pineapples started to become less frequent. She stopped seeing them altogether after a while. Her constant fear was beginning to dwindle. She was laughing at jokes again. She was becoming happy. This happiness crashed back down to earth when she woke up one morning to find 24 pineapples scattered throughout her room. This broke her. She ran from her room and cried, sitting down on the living room floor, shaking violently. Her family moved after that day. The pineapple mastermind Noah was finally free to enchant Jason with his masculinity once again. Chapter 3. Manipulation of the Heart. A light snowfall envelops the outside of the band room as Christmas time takes its place among the students. Everyone was excited to participate in Secret Santa this year, but no one was more excited than Noah. Noah had rigged the drawings. He had to make sure he pulled Jason's name off of the podium. He had paid off several other students to trade with him if they had gotten Jason, and it paid off. Noah had no idea what to get Jason. He didn't know enough about him, other than his incredible abs and perfect face. He could get him a weightlifting set. No, he thought. He probably has several already with those kinds of muscles. Noah figured he would finally have to speak to Jason, which he had been nervously putting off for months. It was 8th period, symphonic band. Noah had devised the ultimate foolproof plan. He ripped a small piece of paper out from his notebook, wrote, "Hi," and passed it down with a small whisper to the player sitting next to him, "For Jason." Class went on, rather uneventful, the teacher only yelling at a much larger trumpet player for seemingly absolutely nothing. This changed, however, when a note was passed to Noah. It was his note, but this note had a particular marking on it, a marking that said, "Hey," almost directly underneath his original writing. This writing was beautiful, as though it had been written by God himself through the hands of a wonderful man. What would he write next? He had been hoping for more to work from than this. Nice hat? He didn't wear a hat. I love you? Maybe too forward. I want you inside me? Way too forward. His mind raced, one option to another. He felt like he had to write anything, so he wrote the one thing he could think of. He wrote, "Hi," again, underneath Jason's lettering. The note returned again with another, "Hey." Noah, believing this would be a good inside joke to share later, repeated the previous word and sent it back. This proceeded several times before finally the bell rang. For a first day, Noah thought he had done exceedingly well. While people were packing up, however, Noah had a newfound confidence. He could do anything. No more manipulating the strings from behind the cover. It was time to go out and speak to Jason directly. He would take command of the situation. As Jason was leaving the band room to wait outside for his ride, Noah burst out from his chair to catch up and say his first vocalized word to him. His confidence quickly turned into panic when his voice squeaked on his, "Hey." Jason replied with a simple, "Hey." Noah panicked. Want food? Did he just invite Jason on a date? How could he be so forward? Would he accept? Would he laugh in Noah's face? Noah could feel the sweat on the back of his neck, and he wished desperately that Jason wouldn't see it. You mean like now? Like now. Where? Burger King. I don't have money. I'll pay. Jason agreed, very accepting of the idea of free food. Noah had successfully completed his first social interaction, but he was more nervous than ever at the notion of actually going on a date with such a beautiful boy. They walked in silence, Noah's palms and neck sweating, but not his forehead. He was always able to control where he sweats, a useful skill indeed. When they arrived at Burger King, Noah ordered a double cheeseburger, but Jason ordered 4. He must have to eat a lot in order to keep such a magnificent body with spectacular abs, Noah thought. They ate in silence, and both managed to finish at the same time. Jason got up to leave, and Noah finally burst out the words, "How long have you played music?" This sparked conversation. Noah could tell Jason was passionate about his music. Noah had always hated playing music, but now he suddenly seemed to enjoy it more than almost anything, all for Jason. They talked for hours, Noah reaching into the back of his head for all of the useless musical knowledge he had acquired during his years of being forced to play instruments. These useless facts becoming his life force for this conversation. At the end of the date, they both got up, and Noah hugged a very confused but accepting Jason. They both left, Jason riding home with his mother, and Noah on his skateboard, smiling the whole way home. The next day, they talked more and more. It was like leaping into a whole new world, the world of Jason's life. He talked about his family, his ex-girlfriend, his video games, his friends, and how he thought that girls were all assholes. This one fact was the most important thing Jason had ever told Noah. That was his light at the end of the tunnel, to use that information to win the race to Jason's heart. As they sat together and ate their lunch, Noah accidentally brushed his hand against Jason's leg, but Jason didn't complain, nor tried to move Noah's hand. Noah kept his hand on Jason's leg, and they ate in silence. This happened again the next day, but Noah pulled his hand a little bit further up Jason's leg. He moved further the next, until one day his hand was laying directly on Jason's crotch, but Jason didn't mind. This process was done so slowly that Jason didn't even notice the incremental increases, and this was already normal to him. Jason and Noah had been going on more dates together, and those dates had been more and more romanticized. When they went to the movies, Jason drew his arm across Noah's shoulders. When they went to eat, they often had long moments of staring into each other's eyes. This happened until one day after a particularly romantic date at Chipotle, Noah and Jason waited outside for their ride. Noah had his hands behind his back and looked lovingly up at Jason, and Jason stared back, their eyes dancing in the light from the deep orange sunsets. This long, deep stare was interrupted when Noah's father arrived. Noticing this, Noah reached his body up to Jason, quickly kissed him, and ran off, both of them blushing intensely. And as Noah ran, not looking back, Jason stared the whole time, not a word leaving his mouth. He was in love with Noah, as Noah was with him. Noah's father saw this, however, and upon arriving at home, beat his son for being homosexual. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for the first part of this episode. Please tune in next time for part 2 and the thrilling conclusion of 50 Ways of Music. Thrilling conclusion. Yes. If you would like to send in something for me to recite, just send it to oratorystory@gmail.com. That's oratorystory@gmail.com. Just include your name, the author's name, why you were inspired to write the piece, and why you liked the piece you sent in. Thanks for listening, thanks for writing, and stay creative. Peace.